Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you. I'm Anthony Destrio and I work at Odoo in the inventory expert team. On the screen you have a QR code, don't hesitate to scan it. It redirects you into a pad where you can submit your question and I answer them at the end of this presentation. So I'll let you a few seconds. Okay, all right. So today I'm going to tell you about my friend Steve. Steve loves apples. Actually, he loved them so much that he decided to make it his profession. And a few months ago, he launched his own apples world food company, Food. And a few days ago, my friend Steve sent me a message, and he told me, "Hello, Anthony. I need to become more efficient in managing my products, particularly in terms of expiration dates and traceability. And I've heard that Odoo can handle all of this. Can you configure it for me, please?" What a wonderful coincidence, isn't it? So today, together, we will show to Steve how to manage his precious apple with Odoo. I will divide this presentation into 3 steps. The first one will be the Odoo configuration steps. So we'll activate some configuration like expiration dates and many other useful things. The second one will dive into Food's daily operation by going through an entire flow from purchasing apples to check the traceability of them after the sales. And then the last part, not fun but very important, it's how to manage a recall for products. So when we talk about fresh and perishable goods, recall often involve some terms of non-compliance, so it could be dangerous. So we'll see how to quickly find all the customers and products impacted and how to manage this recall very quickly. So remember, first the settings to the day-to-day and then worst case scenario, a recall. So let's dive into Odoo. Here I have the Steve database. So let's go into our inventory application and in the settings. First of all, we can activate the quality because we will perform a quick quality check on the reception. Then we can scroll down directly to the traceability menu. And here we can activate the lots number. Okay, so it allows us to define a lot for a batch of products when we receive them. So we can categorize them by lots. We also will activate the expiration dates. So it means that on each lot we will be able to define a new expiration dates for all of these products. Okay, and we'll see that there is some impact in Odoo on the sales. It's not mandatory, but you can also display on your delivery slips and on your invoice the lot number and the expiration date if needed. Now let's configure a product. So let's go into our product and let's go into our famous red apple. First of all, the category of my product, I've created a fresh category for my product, and when I go on it, I see that we can define a removal strategy. Here I choose the FIFO, so the first expiry, first out. It means that Odoo, when I want to sell this product, it will automatically suggest me to send to my customer the product with a closer removal date. Okay? In order to avoid to send to my customer already expired product. Okay. Let's go back into our product form, and here on my purchase tab I put a vendor on my price list, and here on the inventory tab I have the menu traceability, and here I activated the custom lots number. Here, since we talk about red apple, I put the prefix red. So what it means that every time that Steve asks to Odoo to create a lot, okay, Odoo will take into account this prefix and it will add a logical number of sequence by adding +1 every time. Then I activated the expiration date, okay? So it allows you to define different dates. The most important one is the expiration date. Here I've put 60 days. What it means? It means that by default, I consider that when I received my red apple, 60 days after, this apple will be expired. Okay? I put this value by default, but we will see after that we can change manually, of course. The best before, I will not use it today, sorry. The removal date, it's that you define this date based on the expiration date. So here, 5 days before my expiration date, I want to remove this product from my stock. And we'll see that this date is very important because it will have a direct impact into my sales reservation method. And then I have another date. So here I define 10 days before my expiration date. And when I reach this date, Odoo will send me a notification to tell me, hey, you have to take a look on this lot. There is an action to do. So I think it's good with the configuration. Now let's go into the day-to-day of Steve. Of course, Steve wants to earn money, but before to sell his apples, he has to purchase some of them. So let's create a purchase order. Create a new one. I put my famous vendor Fruity Corp, and here I can go into my vendor catalog, and I want to purchase 20 kilos of my green apple and 40 of my red one. Go back to my quotations, and here I can confirm my order. Automatically, Odoo created for me my reception, and here I have several things to do. Before I want to take this product and put it into my warehouse, I want to indicate the lots I received, because you have to imagine that Steve received tons of apples, but they divided into different boxes in wood with, for example, 20 kilos of green apple. And each lot have its own expiration date. So we have to create these lots and attribute to them an expiration date. So let's go into our green apples. And here I have several methods to create a new lot number, but here I will just ask Odoo to do it for me. So I just click on new and saying, okay, this lot containing 20 kilos, and automatically Odoo take the prefix I showed you before, the product form. So for the green apple it was green, and added a number to my sequence. So here I've created this lot number, green 010. I generate it, okay. Here, by default, I have the expiration date set to today plus 60 days, like I showed you on the product form before. I can save. Now let's do the same for the red apples. Let's generate some lots. And here let's say that I have 2 lots containing 20 kilo each. Okay, I create new, and here you see I have my prefix red and the number. And when I generate, I have the sequence increasing. Okay, and here let's change the expiration date, because they are different from the green one. So let's say that for the lot 7, they expired 2 days before, and for the lots 8, they expired on the 12th. Here on the removal date, you see that it changed accordingly to the expiration date, so 5 days before the expiration date. So here it's the 7 for the 12th. I can save it. Now I will perform a quick quality check. It's just to show you that in this type of business, we often do this, but I will not enter in detail into this. So I created a quality point. So here I have to check, and here, since I create lots, I can make a quality check on each lot. So here I have my green lot for my green apples, and I have to check the aspect of product and the expiration date. Let's say that the aspect it's not conformed. Okay, it's a fail, and I automatically send this lot to a failure location I've created for this need. Okay, now I have to check my red apple, the lot 07. It's okay for this lot, and the same for the lot 8. It's okay too. Okay. And now I can validate my receipt. Okay, so I can go back, and now Steve wants to know if he have to remove some apples from his stock. If you have a big warehouse with a ton of apples, you have to find what lot have to be removed. But he didn't want to check visually each lot on his warehouse, so of course Odoo allowed it easily. So he can go into his inventory and lots serial number, and here you have in standard a filter with an expiration alert. So we can see that I have a lot for the red apples, the lot red 05, and the expiration date is tomorrow. So I have a removal date 5 days before, like we configured before. Okay, so it means that the removal date is already due. Okay, I received an alert date 9 days ago, but I have to remove them. Keep in mind that this lot containing 40 kilos of apples. Okay, and now we can sell some apples to our customer. Let's sell to Retail Plus, and let's add some red apples. Okay, let's say that Retail Plus want 55 kilos of apples. Here I have this little forecast graph. It's in blue because I have the stock. Okay, Odoo tell me that I have 70 kilo available. If I go more deeply into this forecast, I see that in reality on my stock I have 110 kilos, but I have 40 kilo to remove. Do you remember what 40 kilo are? This is the previous lot expired that I showed you just before. So what it means for Steve? It means that automatically when he wants to sell products, on the forecast calculation, Odoo will exclude the product with a removal date already due. So it's avoid to send to your customer product expired. Okay, so very useful for Steve. And of course, if I want to sell more than the stock, it's red. Okay, it will never pick into the expired lots. So let's say that we need 55 kilos. I can confirm my order. Okay, and here the same for the reception. Odoo will automatically create the delivery documents, okay, for my customer. And here I have my red apples available, and into the details tab I will be able to see in which slots Odoo pick the stock that I have to send to my customer. And here there is an interesting thing, it's that it's based on the FIFO method. You remember when I defined the FIFO, first expiry, first out? Here you have the concrete example. So when you look at the stock take first, is the lot number 8. So it means that even if I receive my lot 8 after my lot 6, in reality, in my reception, since the lot 8 have an expiration date shorter than the lot 6, it will be taken into account first to be sent to my customer. So first I consume all these lots that I received, the 8, then I consume all the quantity of my lot 7 that I received too, and then after I pick on the lot 6 that I already have, okay, but with an expiration date later. Of course I can change if I need to pick into a specific lot, because sometimes you have an agreement with the customer on specific dates. I can change manually, of course, and for example here we can change a little bit, okay. I can save, and now I can validate the delivery to my customer. So the sales is done, and now we need to see a little bit the traceability, how to see the traceability of my apples. The first way to see, the simple one, is on the delivery document. Here you have the smart button, traceability. If I go on it, I see that I've sent to my customer 3 different slots that we just saw before, the 6, 7 and 8. And when I enter on one of them, I see the life of my apples. So they came into my stock from my vendor, okay, with this reception document. And if I go into this reception document, it's associated to the purchase document, so you have the entire flow. And then it's go from my stock to my customer Retail Plus with this delivery document, right? So this is the first method to see the traceability. Sometimes you want to see the traceability of your product based on a specific customer, okay? So here it's simple too. You can just go into your contact application, go into one of your customer, and here you have all the lot and serial number that you send to him, okay? So here I can see that I send all this lot to this customer. Okay, so it's very quick. And now we'll go into the final part of this presentation. Is the, like I said before, the worst case scenario when there is an issue with a lot. So like I explained before, when it's concerning fresh products, most of the time it's due to a non-compliance, so it can be very dangerous. So here, for example, my vendor told me the lot number 2 for the red apple is affected by a virus, and we need to take care to remove this product and at least inform our customer. What I can simply do is go into my inventory and go into my lot and serial number. And here I can take the lot involved, so the red apple, the lot number 2. And here you see the very useful column, transfer to. So it means that I send this lot to this contact. So it's 2 different customers. So I want to inform this customer that they have to send me back the product or at least scrap them. So I can enter into these lots. On this lot, you have the document associated, so all the purchase, the transfer, the traceability, the quality associated. And here I have all the sales associated. So what I can simply do is going into all my sales order associated to this lot. Okay. I can select all of them and I can simply send an email. And I will send an email to all of my customers involved. So in like 2 minutes, I inform all my customers that they have a potentially dangerous product. Okay? And I don't have to search into my warehouse entirely. Thank you for your attention. I hope this was useful for you. Thank you. So don't hesitate to scan the QR code to ask your question into the flow that we saw, and I answer them in a few seconds. Thank you.
All right, so thank you for your questions. The first one that we have is, how do you manage stock that is not good? So not out of date, but just damaged, for example.
Je t'entendais pas.
Sorry, I'll start again. So how do you manage stock that is not good, not out of date, but just damaged, for example? How do you block the lot serial number to prevent further use without removing the stock from inventory?
Je t'entends pas très bien.
Comment est-ce que tu peux bloquer un stock qui n'est plus bon, donc par exemple juste abîmé, et comment l'empêcher d'être utilisé sans le retirer du stock?
Okay, I don't know if you remember, when I make a quality check, I've sent the green lot who was damaged into a specific location. So you can create different locations in Odoo. So if you need to avoid to send a specific lot, you can simply put this lot into a specific location, like a quarantine location, in order to inspect it. And if it's good, you can go back into send it back to your stock in order to sell it later, or send it back to your vendor if there is an issue.
All right, so for the next question, it's about where do you enable custom lot serial generation with a prefix? Is this a new feature in 19, and can a lot auto-generate upon the receipt of using a barcode app?
Je te le dis. Comment est-ce que tu peux utiliser Custom Lot Serial Generation avec un préfixe, tu vois? Est-ce que c'est nouveau en 19 et est-ce que tu peux générer directement à la réception avec l'application barcode?
Okay. So yeah, what I'll show you, it's a new feature where you can use a prefix. So this is what I'll show you. But there is several methods to generate a lot number. You can directly scan into your barcode application if your vendor sends you the labels with all these informations. Or you can use a GS1 QR code, barcode for example, or you can use an Excel file, for example, where you can just copy and paste all this information, so you have a sequence to respect with the lot name, the product inside. So you can directly use, if you have a lot of lots to create, you can directly use a copy and paste from an Excel file, provided by your vendor, of course. What I'll show you, it's when you want you to create your own lot number, but there is several ways, of course.
All right, another interesting question about how do you manage decrease of stock? For example, you purchase 10 kilos and after 8 days you have 9 kilos left.
comment est-ce que tu manages une decrease des stocks si tu achètes 10 kilos et qu'après 8 jours, tu n'as plus que 9 kilos?
Okay, so from what I understand, it's like when you lost some products, so you can just make an inventory adjustment by scrapping the difference of stock that you lost.
Perfect. Okay, how do you manage the case of a product that is perishable after X days after opening?
Si tu as un produit qui expire après quelques jours après l'ouverture, comment est-ce que tu peux manager ça?
In standard, right now I think there is no this functionality, but you can change after you open this product. You can change the expiration date. You can change it anytime when you want. So you can modify the expiration date right after you open this product. I think this is a simple way to manage it.
What if you want to sell the red apple that are almost expired?
Qu'est-ce que tu fais si tu veux quand même vendre les pommes rouges qui arrivent à expiration? Est-ce que tu peux quand même les vendre?
By default, Odoo will not reserve product with removal date already due, but since you can change the removal date and the expiration date at any time, if you really want to sell them, you can move up the date, so you will be able to select them.
How can you configure so that only the same lot number can be sold to a customer? If the customer orders 100 square meters of tiles and I still have 100 square meters in stock, 95 square meter lot A and 5 square meter lot B, then no reservation should be possible.
C'est une question un peu plus longue. Donc comment est-ce que tu peux configurer si tu as juste un seul lot number qui doit être vendu à un seul customer? Il commande 100 mètres carrés et tu as 100 mètres carrés, 95 mètres carrés dans le lot A, 95 mètres dans le lot B. No reservation should be possible.
Yeah, like I showed you before, Odoo can take several lots in order to complete all of them to fulfill the entire needs of the customer, and you can adjust them. So if you need a specific lot for a customer, you can choose on your delivery to select these specific lots.
Another small question, how can I print ingredients on my product label?
Est-ce que je peux imprimer des ingrédients sur mon product label?
It's like a labels modification, so you can, I'm not sure if you can do it with Studio, maybe a little bit, but you can tweak it with a little development if you need very specific information, like dynamic information. But yeah, you can modify your labels.
All right, thanks a lot for your question. We are running out of time, but do not hesitate to come back to us if you have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you.